Fog Racing back again with another part of the F1 Manager career mode, and this time we're in Canada. We're at the GL Fuel North circuit. Last time out at this track and last season it was a pretty fun race, but this time out I don't think it's going to be as fun because the Ferrari car, just simply put, doesn't really have the pace. But it's your usual suspects that are out in Q1 and 2. And well, actually, to be fair, Sebastian Vettel has managed to sneak his AlphaTauri through with the Alpine of Esteban Ocon jobbing it. But we go in to Q3 here, and hopefully with the Ferraris doing the slipstream we can get pretty far up, but we can't really because George Russell's beat us. Alonso's slopped in behind, but as you can see towards the end of Q3 it was like normal order, presumed, sorry. We've got a Red Bull 1, 2 and then the rest behind's just up for debate. But yes, we do have the 5 red lights about to go out. Both Red Bulls starting here. We've got Hamilton and Bottas, Alonso, Russell, both Ferraris. It's an interesting start as we dive into turn 1, but not really much happening as we go to the end of the lap now, going on to the back straight. But moving on to lap 11, as you can see, the top 7 have basically got their own wee gap, so we decided to pit with Leclerc, but it's not really paid off if we're being perfectly honest, as Leclerc now is stuck in a train with a load of jobbers. Moving on to lap 16, we have pitted Carlos Sainz onto the soft compound tyre, but we have got Alexander Albon getting, oh no, he's actually pitted for the mediums, sorry, I should say Carlos Sainz, but George Russell overtakes Albon. It would be handy if Carlos Sainz managed to beat these two, but he hasn't. He's actually dropped behind Leclerc, and it turns out this aggressive strategy that we've went with has not really worked because we've just come out in a shit ton of traffic. Meanwhile though, the safety car has come out for a collision between George Russell and Kevin Magnussen. Holy fuck, what a crash. That was an absolutely insane crash. We've got Bottas, Alonso, Hamilton, Perez all pitting. We're staying out though with our drivers. Max Verstappen, who's not pitted at all so far, has actually stayed out here, so that's probably going to shaft him in the long run. He's going to have to eke this out. But Hamilton exiting the pits on the hard tyre. Will he beat out Leclerc? Thankfully, technically Leclerc's got the net lead, he can go to the end, same with Sainz, but again all these guys on the hard tyre will be able to, and we've just got much worse tyre. But Guan Yu Zhou here has smashed it into the wall of champions. He's anything but a champion, but here we go for the safety car restart here on lap 21. The cars are all ready to go, we're all ready to duel down here for the remainder of this race. But to be honest, there's probably going to be more crashes because Canada's always a wee bit chaotic. We got Yuki Tsunoda in the Williams up in P11. Both McLaren's doing pretty well in 10th and 9th. Verstappen leads from Charles Leclerc on the medium tyre, and as you can see, man, we're definitely going to have to stop with these guys again, so probably go on to the hard tyre and see if we can eke it out towards the end of the race. But as you can see, we're set on deploy. Moving on to lap 24, Leclerc stuck behind Max Verstappen, but not an awful lot happening. Sainz still doing in P7 as we speak here. And as we move on, Leclerc tries to overtake Verstappen, but Verstappen bottles it, dives into the pit lane, and Sainz still sitting down to P7. So we've got our usual suspects at the top of the pack here, but as the tyres began to go off for Leclerc and Sainz, as you can see, we began to drop down big time. But we've actually got Sainz in the DRS of Perez. We've got Verstappen overtaking Lance Stroll for P12. He's on the hards, Verstappen, so he's on much fresher hards, but he's just stuck down at the bottom of the pack. But with about 34 laps to go, we've decided to pit Charles Leclerc, and look how far down he's coming, man. Out beside the McLarens. We're kind of hoping for him to beat Lando Norris. Norris has been beat out by Leclerc. Brilliant news. That's exactly what I like to see. And we've also pitted Carlos Sainz. So as you can see, Leclerc and Sainz, man, we're sitting in fucking no man's land essentially. Perez leads though with 4 laps to go for Hamilton. Then we've got Alonso, Verstappen chasing down Fernando. We've got Bottas all over the back of Carlos Sainz. Then with George Russell, Ocon, Albon and Charles Leclerc. But we do have, most notably, we've got Stoffel Van Dorn and Lance Stroll on fresh sets of soft, looking to score their team's first points of the season. And they'll be looking to do that big time. And as you can see, Lance Stroll in the DRS of Leclerc, who's been overtook by Stoffel Van Dorn. So it looks like Haas could be about to get their first points of the season and also the fastest lap, which of course gets them that extra point. Verstappen blast past Fernando Alonso, Perez overtaking Lewis Hamilton, And as you can see, we go on to the last lap. Hamilton now in the DRS of Sergio Perez. Can it be the first non-Red Bull winner of the year? Hamilton into the DRS now on the hard compound tyre. He's thinking about it, but Perez looks like he's just done enough. They hold on for Red Bull. Hopefully Hamilton can get the job done. Well, we are kind of battling Hamilton, but you know, we would like somebody else to win, and he's deploying all his energy, and Lewis Hamilton gets across the line, defeats Sergio Perez for the victory. Meanwhile, Alonso looks like he's holding off Max Verstappen for the final podium spot. We've got Valtteri Bottas coming home in P5, then it's going to be Alexander Albon. We've got Carlos Sainz, who's got George Russell all over him, and we've just no pace, man. The tyres are absolutely dead. Leclerc's dropped out of the points. We've got Ocon behind Carlos Sainz, and hopefully we can hang on to that, but nope, Esteban Ocon's went, nope, we're taking that off you, and Van Dorn manages to get 2 points for Haas, and a pretty brilliant drive for his team. But again, Lance Stroll narrowly missing out on points, but Lewis Hamilton wins, which is absolutely insane. Then it was Perez, Alonso, Verstappen, Bottas, Albon, Russell, Ocon, Sainz and Van Dorn on the points. And that kind of spells disaster for us guys in terms of our points, because that's not good for the championship. We've scored 2 points. Mercedes, on the other hand, have got a win. Alpine scoring well, and as you can see, we sit 5th and 6th behind Alonso and Lewis Hamilton, who both got podiums today. But anyway guys, leave your thoughts down below. Till the next Grand Prix, peace.